Hey, my name's Mark and this is Friendship Shaving. Nice to see you. Today I'll be shaving with some of my favourites, and you can see that I've got my Gillette single ring out and ready to go. There's no date code on this one, so it's dated from between 1921 and 1929, and in that I have a Voskhod blade, double wrapped and Teflon coated. Been really enjoying these lately. They are definitely one of my favourites. The soap I'm using today is the Obsessive Soap Perfectionist OSP, and it is their barbershop scented soap. And this really is a terrific smell. It was a present from my sister last Christmas, and I do enjoy using it. And today I'll be using my little chrome brush, which I've named Synthia, and I'll be telling you quite why I like it so much. You can see I'm all loaded up and ready to go. So I'll just splash some water on my face. I'll come right back to you and we'll get going. Back in a moment. Now, this brush, I've been using it for about 3 weeks now, so it's safe to say that I really like it. It's a synthetic brush, hence the name Synthia, and the tips are very, very soft indeed. The fibre beneath the tips is slightly more coarse and of course crimped. So when the brush is splayed, that gives a really nice textured feel to the brush. It's got a little bit of backbone, but what I like about it is that it splays easily into this position. So you can build the lather on your face and keep the lather mostly in the top end of the knot. It's actually opened my eyes to the quality of synthetic knots that are coming out these days. Now I've got a couple of brushes in shot that you can see. Got my badger brush at the front there, which was £22. It's my Progress Full Fix Pure Badger brush. And I've also got my Vlong or Vlong, I'm not quite sure how to say that, horsehair brush. That was £45. And I have to tell you that this little synthetic outperforms those two all day long. It's absolutely brilliant. And I'll put the link in below, but this brush was $16.95 or £13. So for very little money, I think the knot quality is absolutely excellent. I have to say I've been loving it. Now I haven't used this razor for a little while. These Voskhod blades really are very smooth. I think I've gotten used to them a little bit because I used a Gillette Silver Blue the other day, and I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I normally do. I find these Voskhods to be just an effortless shave. So while I'm shaving, I'm going to continue to tell you a little bit about the brush. It's a 22mm knot. And the brush itself is 100 grams. I think that's 3.4 ounces or something. So it is a really heavy brush. It's got a 50mm handle and a 55mm knot size. Do you know what? I've just been loving it. Absolutely been loving it. Thanks for your comments over the last few weeks as well. Had some very interesting comments, and I love answering all your comments and saying hello. When I was looking for names for the brush, I had a couple of brilliant suggestions. Wolf Ranger 208. Suggested Cylon 6, who was the platinum-haired android assassin from Battlestar Galactica. I really liked that name, that was a really good one. And Terry PH came up with a great suggestion. His suggestion was Bardot, named after Brigitte Bardot, the famous actress. So I like that one as well. So thanks for your comments over the last few weeks. It's been a lot of fun. But I've settled with Synthia, and the people that are selling the brush have adopted my name, so that's worked out quite well, hasn't it? Terrific. Do you know, in some ways it reminds me of my silver tip. And what I mean by that is that when I do this, it just stays like that. And if I brush this way, it stays like that. If I brush that way, it stays that way. It's soft enough to do exactly what you want with it. As I say, I will put the link below in the comments. And this will be my third video now with this brush, so I promise next week I will use a different brush. You know, I think it's really nice, the quality of these synthetics. It makes me wonder where they'll go next, because, you know, if you can get a synthetic knot this good on a shaving brush that this is inexpensive, you know, that's great for people, isn't it? That, especially people that are just coming into shaving in the traditional way. We maybe all hanker after the high-end expensive stuff, but perhaps it doesn't always need to be expensive. I was watching the Suffolk shaver in the week, and he was talking about going to the cinema with his kids. I've got some really good memories of going to the cinema with my dad when I was young. The first film that I really remember going to see, it must have been in the very early 70s, because we'd gone from the imperial system over to metric and decimalisation. And I remember having this pocket money that I didn't understand what I had to do with it. And we went to see the James Bond film with George Lazenby in it. And I remember being really shocked at the ending. Another one I went to see with my dad was Tower and Inferno. What a great movie. Paul Newman, Steve McQueen, is it? Yeah, fantastic movie. Good memories. I still get a kick out of that movie to this day when it's on. And I went with my dad to see the first Jaws movie as well. That bit where the head rolls out from the boat. That's a great moment. Good memories. Nice one, Steve. Do you know, when I got this razor, I thought it was going to be really, really aggressive, and it wasn't at all. But that was what I'd read, that it was going to be really aggressive. I did have a few sore moments, but once I've learnt how to use it properly, I've really had no trouble with this ever since. It's a great razor. I must admit, I'd quite like to try the Gillette New. I think that sounds very interesting, and apparently it's an even better shave than this one. Now that must be something. So I wonder, do you have a little rotation with your razors? What razor are you using to shave with? That's the question for the week, fellas. Have you got just one that you use, or do you use a couple like? And what's your favourite? Oh, and here's another one. Yeah, here's another one. What razor would you really like to own that you don't have yet? Now, I'd like the Gillette old type, that on the back of the guard is signed by King Gillette. I saw one once on eBay from a French seller, and I was just outbid on it. So yeah, I'd love one of those, I must admit. Do you know that bit there? Nightmare. Nightmare. Do you know I had a chap last week? Well, I say it was a chap, it might not be. A person last week. On his tablet or her tablet, went through it and disliked every single one of my videos. I tell you, it tickled me pink. Be nice, folks. Just be nice. Do you know, I never used to swap hands until I started using a straight razor. I should rephrase that, until I started trying to use a straight razor. I'm still not very good at it. But now I find it just as easy to swap hands. That feels like a nice shave. Oh, I had some great suggestions for soaps last week. Thank you, everybody. Some really, really nice soaps out there. Do you know, a lot of them, this is what amazes me about soaps, a lot of them are not very expensive. They last a long time. It's absolutely great. Back in a moment. Oh, a little bit there. Oh yeah, just the corners. Oh, other than that, that's a pretty good shave. Right there. Right in the nightmare spot. There we go, that's better. Done. Fabulous. Now I'll just rinse my brush out so you can see it in all its glory again. Just a quick rinse, I'll give it a proper clean in a little while. There we are, Synthia in all her glory. Now I'm just going to put a drop of cold water on my face. I will be back with you in just a moment. Very good. So I'd just like to say thank you everybody for watching my videos and for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, if you've just dropped in to see what goes on here, well, I hope you've enjoyed it and maybe you would like to subscribe. There will be a picture towards the end of the video of my ugly mug holding up a razor. If you click on that, I can be beamed into your home every week, forever. So I've got some good shaves coming up soon, chaps. Got the aftershave, got my favourite again. I'm shaking it up, so perhaps you know it's the Nivea Men 2-phase aftershave, Protect and Care. Yeah, I've got a lovely gift being sent to me by James and Ilse in Massachusetts, and they're sending me a 1970 long-handled Black Beauty. Now, I've never shaved with one of those. I've never shaved with anything with a handle as long as that, so that'll be very interesting indeed. I've got a Weishi razor, Weishi, I think that's how you might say it, which apparently is a near copy of a Gillette Super Speed, so that'll be very interesting indeed. And I've also just had an email through that my Rockwell 6C is on its way and has been posted out from Canada. I'm really looking forward to getting that one. I got involved in that on a Kickstarter page and it cost me £20, and for £20 I'll get the razor, 2 heads, I think there's a pack of blades, and postage paid from Canada to my door. So £20, I'm getting a lot for my £20, so it'll be very, very interesting when that comes. So I've got some good things coming up, so I hope you'll stay tuned. The Friendship Shave this week was bought by my wonderful Gillette with the Voskhod Voskhod blade, my little chrome brush, the OSP barbershop soap, and this rather wonderful 2-phase aftershave that I'm enjoying. Whatever you're doing, fellas, have a good week. I hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. All the best to you.